Yes, best actor. Okay, Sam, best actor.
This
Who do you
is
have? This is best
probably,
actor in a leading role.
In a leading role.
and this is probably the tightest race of the entire night. If we're just being honest here,
Okay.
it's a pretty stacked category.
Mm-hmm.
You got Adrian Brody, Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet, Complete Unknown,
Mm-hmm.
Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes, Conclave, Sebastian Stan, The Apprentice. So it's pretty.
This
It's
is the most
pretty
competitive
stacked.
one to me. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
one of the
that's-
most competitive ones.
And I think
Who do you got?
for me, I gotta say Coleman Domingo, Sing Sing. I think
I hope he wins.
I don't think it's likely that he's going to take it, but I think that he deserves it. I think his performance makes that movie in a way that none of the other performances here do. Like, you need that strong central pillar for Sing Sing, especially at an emotional core, and he brings it. And I really think
how in sports, Sam, a referee will make a bad call, and then instead of like taking that call back, they'll just make another bad call against the other team
Balance it
so
out.
that it evens it out. It happens in every sport. Coleman Domingo might get a "my bad for last year" Oscar.
I would love to see that
He should
happen.
have won for Rustin last
I
year.
think Sing Sing as a whole talked about it already, but again, I think it was incredibly mismanaged by A24, and it led to it really not having a presence here at all. And I think that this is one of two categories that it's in, and I think that I think it's the best. I think it's the most deserved category for it to be in, aside from Best Picture.
Yeah.
So I think that and it's not in Best Picture. So I think I would give it to him. I wouldn't be too upset at an Adrian Brody win. I think he's real good in that movie. I don't like the AI use at all, even though it's not a lot of it. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
I think that even if it's 1% of the performance, Coleman Domingo came in with 100%, not 99.
Yeah.
And although I think at the end of the day here, good chance it's Timmy. Good chance it's Timothy Chalamet, and that would be
Timmy.
That would be all right. I would be fine with it. It would be what it is.
Well,
Nick,
Sam,
we should
I
have an
think-
indie talk about this so that we can sort of expound on what he means by A24 dropping the ball. And the reason why that's so controversial is because A24 basically built their whole company on their marketing prowess. Anyway, go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give mine, but I want to comment on that. So I'm gonna say that Adrian Brody gets it. I think this is again a matter of Academy Award taste. So I think that's where they're going to go. And I think Sam hits. Well, so before we get too far, again, we want to do an indie talk to talk about how A24 dropped the ball. But I think it's not only did they drop the ball on the film, but for me, like for where it could be an Oscar contention and all that.
Yeah.
But maybe they dropped the ball for society. Maybe they dropped the ball for people caring about the Oscars. I can't stop thinking about the poll that we put out there, right? Sam put it out there and said, are you going to watch? And was it like 70+% said no, like a resounding no, I'm not watching. And for me, it's because people don't care. Like, why do I want to? Honestly, the Timothy Chalamet thing, I think you could get him. If he won, maybe people would care more.
I agree.
I think that, right?
He's hot right now. It's a big deal.
He's hot right now. Exactly. And he's been hot for a certain age demographic for a while. So if you gave it to him, you might actually get people to watch next time. Like, oh, okay, we're represented at the Oscars, where other folks might say, hey, look, no, we're not represented there. That's an older crowd who's voting on that, and we're not part of that. But I think where they dropped the ball for Sing Sing is that's a movie that touches you emotionally. I think everybody can just feel when they watch that movie. Whereas things like The Brutalist, it might have been a fantastic film. You break it down, you can look at all the categories that it's in, right? You're like, wow, yeah, as a work of art, you did something amazing. But I don't know if that's where people are right now in our current zeitgeist. They want to feel connected to the content. So I'm with you, man. It'd be great if Sing Sing won, but at the same time, I don't think enough people have seen it for it to make a difference.
Especially,
I think they're going to go with their taste.
Part of it is,
especially Academy voters. I mean, there's been a huge. I don't know if you guys have seen it online this year, where they have been there have been all these, quotes coming out, and they've been talking about how they aren't finishing the movies, or they're watching them in, multiple viewings, and it's buffering, and that they aren't even. It was one guy who said he watched the first half of The Brutalist on his phone, and then didn't feel like he needed to watch the back half, and just went ahead and gave it a 6.
Oh, that's upsetting.
And that's horrible. And then the same dude said he didn't want to watch Dune because he doesn't like survival movies, and just didn't watch it, and then still voted. And that's why something like Sing Sing, and unfortunately doesn't really stand a chance here.
And I don't want to play the race card again, but it is there's two things that it has that makes it different. One, it's basically, we talked about this in the last Indie Talk we had that I think we'll publish on this Friday, but is it a black movie? Maybe. And then I think the second thing about it is that it does have a lot of people in there who are giving amazing performances, who haven't dedicated their lives to, let's say, the craft, and that could be upsetting to the industry. Like, we're not gonna, it would be like if a bunch of people off the street beat the Chiefs in flag football. It would be like, what just happened?
Right. Okay. But they had they had an amazing quarterback, right?
Yeah, amazing quarterback. What did AI say, PB?
Well, AI is going to go with Timothy Chalamet.
Yep. Timothy Chalamet.
Yep.
But honestly, it would be great. It would be great for the Oscars if that was the case.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I think that the Oscars do love to do a move where they'll take an up-and-coming young actor, and granted, Timmy's been nominated before, but they'll take an up-and-comer, and they'll nominate him once or twice, and they'll say, not yet, and then the third or fourth go-around, they'll say, okay, it's time. And the reason that I think that could potentially happen here is because Timothée Chalamet is starring in a movie called Marty's Supreme, which is being looked at as one of the biggest kind of releases of the year from like an award perspective. It's a Safdie brothers. I'm incredibly excited for it, but he's the lead, and it's another one that's kind of a biopic, and I think that it could easily take a similar role. He's also going to be in Dune 3 in 2026. So I could see them saying, hey, you got 2 more on the horizon. Not yet.
Oh. Yeah.
But which would also, to be fair, that would also say, I think a lot of young people would come back next year if he's nominated again and say, okay, well, let's see it one more time. And I think that's a dangerous game that they might play, but I think that is something that they might do.
Yeah, and I will say this too. I was in love with his speech that he gave at the SAG Awards.
I was too. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, he wants to be the Michael Jordan of acting. Awesome. Let's go. Like, cool. He's going to dedicate his life to the craft. He wants to be one of the greats. He wants to go down as this generation's Marlon Brando. Let's do. Okay. Like, I'm all in on. Like, at least you're not giving the award to somebody who didn't care. At least you're not giving the award to somebody who's going to walk on stage chewing gum. Right, like it's there. You can root for Timothée Chalamet in this regard, and he had a great year. And the movie is really good. The movie's really, really good. He was Bob Dylan. If he won, I wouldn't be mad.
He's better in Dune. Is my only thing with him in this position. He's not bad, but he's better in Dune. And so
I really enjoyed him in Dune 2. I am on the record as saying on Dune 1, I did not think I just did not buy it. And then I realized I needed to watch it again. And then when I watched Dune 1 again.
After 2?
No, I watched Dune 1 and then I watched Dune 2. So I rewatched Dune 1. I realized I had watched Dune 1 with tired eyes. And when I went back to watch it, I had missed sort of the importance of certain conversations he had with his mom in Dune 1. And I haven't read the book. So it was like, oh, okay. Now it makes sense why he beat up that black dude at the end of Dune 1. That he would definitely not have beat up. He definitely would not have beat that dude up. That he would definitely not have won that fight. And I just couldn't get past that for like a year. And then I realized, boom. So there we go. And I enjoyed Dune 2 a lot. And matter of fact, the fact that Denny wasn't nominated more kind of made me feel like maybe some of these award shows are unserious, but whatever. Yeah. Okay, here's what I have. I have Ralph Fiennes for Conclave winning Best Actor. And I want, so this is one of these things where I want Coleman Domingo to win. I think he deserves it. But I think when I just look at the performances, and it is really tight. I mean, Ralph just, it's like he researched this by living in Rome for, 5 years or something. Just even his body, the way his body moves. He looks like he is a pious individual trying to figure out a situation inside of the Vatican. It's astonishing how he's able to transform. And I would give that to Sebastian Stan on The Apprentice as well.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a question for you for PB to look up. So just ask AI at some point if anybody has ever won an Academy Award for a depiction in a film about the Catholic Church.
What? Of course they have.
I want to know who that was. So anyway, this is something. I'm just curious.
Because wasn't the one about the Sam? What film was it that came out 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where the popes? It was the reporting on the Catholic Church. It was the reporters. I own this movie.
Was it there was one called The Two Popes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
I don't know.
No, this one's recent.
It was a documentary.
Was it nominated? Was it like
nominated? It was nominated for best film. Did it win? Like it was about the two journalists who uncovered the child abuse within the Catholic Church. This was like 2 years ago, 2 years ago. I remember because it was the last year they were sending physical screeners out.
Oh yeah, I got it. Spotlight. Actually, yeah. No. I remember. Okay, yeah. No, we looked this up. Actually, me and my dad the other day because we were talking about Moonlight.
Shout out to your dad.
Yep. Shout out to my dad. This one came out also with Stanley Tucci in, apparently.
Yep.
And this one came out a couple years ago, or 10 years ago. Went up against Moonlight, La La Land.
Tough. That's tough comp.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Anyway, I think that one won some stuff. Great film. Okay, so we've got our guesses in there. We've got Coleman Domingo. We've got Timothy Chalamet, and Ralph Fiennes. Okay,